Right, here we are, 85 grand final, third 18. Cobram versus Finley. Here we have a big game we've all been waiting for. Moody knocking the ball down. It's onto the ground once again here. It's picked up by the Finley player in Walsh, who's kicked the ball. Oh, geez, what have we got here? In Waterfall. By Scott Thomas. Scott Thomas kicked the ball down to that half-back flank. A very strong tackle here, but the ball has gone out of bounds. Magnificent day for football here, Neville, this afternoon at Tagamore.
It's a great day. Looks like it's going to be one of those great grand finals again for 85.
There you go there. Ball once again out of bounds on the half-forward flank in Cobram's. Denny scoring in, but Burke tackling very strong from behind. The ball's going down to Mark Bond, who should have taken an easy mark. The ball's knocked onto the ground by Denny, and he's been held without the ball. Finley held without the ball. I couldn't see the wisdom in that decision. The ball was actually in possession of the Finley player, and Mark Bond, all he was doing was holding him from behind, pinning him down to the ball. Well within possession of the ball, and a very poor decision by the umpire. But still, they like to assert their authority early in the game. He's certainly done that, but a charity kick in front of goal. And probably that's what it deserved too. It's a terrible thing to say, but it's probably what it did deserve. 1 point to Finley.
Thanks, Graham. Kick out there. All the boys run out to the opposite side. Boys are battling for the ball. Sheppy's in there in amongst it, Bobby Burke. But I think it's out of bounds. Not much. Righto. Ball being thrown in.
Clemke
Goes up for the mark. Cobram in there. Kick out to the centre. Finley goes up for the mark. Misses it. Weeding gets the ball. Kicks it down to Sheppy. Sheppy running on the wing. Comes right through. Danny Thomas. Great kick into the forward line. Still on the forward, the battle for the ball there. Battle over on the far wing. Danny Thomas comes out again, playing brilliantly at the moment. Gems goes up. Hudson Batty running for the ball. The chance, opportunity. Screw it through. Bad luck. He kicks it into a Finley man, but he's still after. Finley's got the ball. Hudson chase. And they're coming out here on the wing. Hocking got the ball. Kicks it back. And taken by Gemmell.
David Gemmell on the half-forward flank position for Cobram. He's getting many leads. He probably took a bit too long getting that ball. He's kicked it straight to Hudson Batty. He's taken an easy mark. Unexpected all round, I think. I don't think Hudson was expecting it. I don't think David Gemmell was expecting to kick it there. But Hudson's long torpedo kick, kicking it, looking at the half, right into the full forward position. So Stephen Gemmell trying to push, never getting near the ball, and Finley easily clearing the ball from that full-back line. Wedding, getting the ball, handballing it. Not actually retarded in any stage, and Hudson Batty tackles when the player didn't have the ball. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Bickerton, and Bickerton's kicking the ball down to the centre wing position. Pora in hot pursuit of the ball, and Pora in fact is going to receive a free kick against Simpkin for that tackle. Pora kicking the ball down to the half forward. A nice knock away from Bond from behind onto the ground to Simpkin. Simpkin didn't have the ball. He runs onto his left foot. He's held without the ball, and the umpire's seen that one. A good decision by the umpire. The Finley crowd not liking it, but they really don't know what they're talking about, to be quite honest. And here's a kick by Simpkin. It's a lovely kick, a 50-metre kick right down. Let's go straight down the throat of the big ruckman there, Klemke. I think it's him. He's taking the mark. The ball back to Shepherd. Shepherd's tackle without the ball. Ball's been picked up by Brain. Brain sends along a nice handball, and the ball's come down to Bond, and Bond's taking a lovely mark. Plays on immediately, kicking the ball out out to Chris Musticker. Musticker runs for the ball, has a bit of trouble picking it up, runs onto his left foot. He's in more trouble than the early settlers here as he hurriedly has to kick the ball in the end, looking for Robert Hocking. The ball runs past Robert Hocking to Sandy Weeding. Sandy Weeding goes a long way around, gets his left foot kick out in the vicinity of Stephen Gemmell, who's pushed and prodded from every direction. He's going to receive a free kick. Put his body in, and that's all that counts in grand final football. He sent the ball out, rather a poor kick out to the half forward. I'm looking for Hudson Bay. Hudson Bay a long way from the action, but a very poor kick by Stephen Gimble out that half forward flank, putting it to no one in advantage. All players a little bit nervous on both sides. He would just say, Neville.
Yeah, I think so. She's a little bit of a nervous tension. We're out on the far wing at the moment. Kicks it down there to Moody, is it? Moody, yes. Went for the mark but missed there again. Ball being kicked backwards and forward. Gemmell goes up. Is that Gemmell? No, it wasn't.
Well, I'm bucket of I know there.
Henry.
It's a free kick being given away.
Free kick. Danny Thomas on the mark.
Cobram players milling around the ball. Bobby Burke runs right left. He's tackled from behind. The ball spills in the middle ground. Burke tries to force his way through with a soccer off the ground, but nothing happens. Umpire calling for a ball up. It's again a ruckman against each other. Good knockout by Klemke. Out straight to Bobby Burke though. Bobby Burke, they're kicking up to Henry. Henry's in front. He gets pushed aside. Ball's been picked up by Waterfall, and Waterfall's kicked the ball down. A nice mark taken out there by Wooding. He immediately gets a handball onto Robert Hocking. Robert Hocking looking for Hudson, but he's in front. A poor pass to him underneath the ball, and the ball's been marked by Quirk.
There's Nicolopoulos on the ground. The ball comes through. Chris comes through. Chris Mustica and kicks a point. Bad luck. Oh, just come out of the scrum there, and Nicolopoulos on the ground and passed out to Chris Mustica, who kicks a point. The ball out over the back at the moment, being brought in for a kick out. Finley boys leading out on the wing here, miles ahead on his own, but still misses the mark. Bobby Burke chasing him. Comes into Hocking, who passes out to Hudson Batty and takes a fine mark in front of goal. Hudson should be able to make this his opportunity. If he gets this goal, could bring a bit of enthusiasm into the team.
Early, halfway through the first quarter, Hudson Batty from about 40 metres out, and he shredded a goal. Oh, I don't know. It's been touched right on the line. Well, that's a bit of bad luck. Hudson not driving the ball through as he should have, and the ball, as a consequence, he hasn't got the distance. Cobram Bickerton kicking out from full back. Sends a long kick out from, and a lovely mark taken by Sandy Weeding at the back. That was an excellent mark. Judgment to absolute perfection. And there's a lead. There's a couple of leads. There's leads everywhere up there, but he's going to kick in the Henry position. Henry's falling back, and he's going to give the free kick away. Umpire stated that he was in the back of his Finley counterpart in opposition. Finley clearing out through the half-back position. The ball has been taken out there by Coombs. Coombs on the half-back flank, pointing in front of him to say where he's going to kick the ball. He's kicked the ball out here looking for Brain. Brain and Hocking, a battle again. Hocking knocks away from behind onto the ground. Picked up by the Finley Rover. He knocked the ball down in the John Ventry area. John Ventry gathers it one way, then the other. Gets a nice handball out to Simpkin. Excellent play. Simpkin, long rainmaker down to centre half forward. This will be a good mark if someone can get this. It's not. It's Moody coming through. Strong handball out. Under the running Weeding. Weeding's caught. Runs it on his left foot. It's Chris Mustica in there. He gets a handball out to George Nicolopoulos. No one can hold on to the ball. Eventually it's Russell. Is it Danny Thomas? So knocking the ball to the ground, and he's going to be given a free kick for holding the man, holding the arm. Well, can he kick this one, Neville?
Oh, I think he might be just a bit far out. He's a bit further out than Hudson Batty, but I think if he's determined enough, he'll just get that extra effort. No leads or anything. He's going for the goal. It looks like it could be a point. Another point to Cobram.
10 minutes.
10 minutes into the first quarter, and the score is 2 goals to Cobram. 2-1. 3 points it is. 3 points to 1 point. Kicked out, still in the forward line. Kicked out in the far wing. Simpkin out there, but it goes out of bounds. So Another throw in.
Leading down here first.
Cobram keeping it up on the forward line at the moment. Good kick out there to Kennedy. Gemmell it is. Gems drives it down into the forward line. Hudson Batty behind again. Misses out. Behind his man. Finley passes around the wing. Simpkin on the mark. Comes up the forward line. Sheppy in the pack there. Oh, Cobram come in a bit too hard and give away another free kick.
Yeah, a lot of free kicks, as you said, they've never been given away by the Cobram side. Maybe it's because they're going hard. They want to go in hard. There's an infringement behind the play and a free kick upfield. That was a poor bit of umpiring too. Maybe he should have paid the advantage rule then, but he didn't. Thankfully for Cobram, he didn't play. Poor handball coming out from Finley. Oh, a very, very strong tackle coming through here by the Cobram defence in Scott Thomas, coming absolutely shirt-fronting his opponent. And, I don't think there was anything wrong with that. And it was, he hit him from the front. He didn't hit him from the side or the back or anything like that. And a very, very poor decision by the umpire once again. They're penalising players for going in hard, and that's completely unnecessary and very poor umpiring. However, the umpire has seen fit to give a free kick to Finley because of strong play. Ball over the back of the pack. Given by Doyle. Doyle runs on his left foot. He kicked the ball up in the air. I don't know if he should have even attempted. No, it was out of bounds before he did kick the ball. And, hello. Very even tussle here at this stage. No one really gaining any ascendancy at all. Cobram player throwing the ball away, and that's a good decision by the umpire. He had the ball. He was caught from behind. He just let the ball roll on the ground in front of him, and that's letting the ball go, or dropping the ball, as they say. And it's a free kick to Finley from about 30 metres out. Bonnie's in front. Bonnie punches the ball away, as he's done in frequent finals, other finals.
Yeah, put that RF lead on this.
Knocking the ball away, and the ball has gone right through for a point to Cobram. Very, very close nip and tuck stuff here at the moment. Here we are at about the 12-minute mark of this quarter. Cobram 3 points, Finley 2. It's Robert Hocking. He runs around right and left, and then gets the ball into Stephen Gemmell. Stephen Gemmell goes in board. A nice one out to Robinson. Robinson kicking the ball out to Thomas. The ball goes past him, picked up by Finley. Finley in the van here. A handball coming out to ball once been picked up by Mustiger. Mustiger out to Ventry. Ventry's got a free run here as he kicks the ball downfield, looking for Bobby Burke. Bobby Burke's underneath the ball and takes it one grab, two grabs. Then his opponent takes it and he grabs him, knocks him to the ground. Nicolopoulos picks the ball up, kicks the ball back to Hudson Bay. Hudson Bay leading out in front of his opponent Bickerton, and has taken a mark some 20 metres out from goal. Well, a lot of excitement there while you weren't watching the ball then, Neville and Adrian. The ball went down from one net. Well, those sort of things happen.
We can have a look later.
Oh, that's right. That's the advantage of the video, of course. You can look back on it afterwards. But here, Hudson Batty, a must goal for Cobram. His umpire's come across. That's Artie Owen. Artie Owen's put two hands up, and that's a goal.
Yes, great goal. That's what we need. Good play there, right down this wing, and bit of determination there. And Hudson Batty gets his first goal. That's 1-3, is it? Yes, 1-3 to 2 points.
We don't want that.
Ball coming back to the centre for play. It's a great crowd here today. The ground's filling up for the big game this afternoon, but this is our big game for Cobram. This is one we want to win, and the boys look very determined at this stage. Going up for the bounce. 13.5 minutes into the quarter. Finley go for the knock. Moody misses a knock. Number 5, Weeding, kicks it out down to the centre. Danny Thomas trying there, but his opponent, 24, is Metallic. No, it's not. More for Finley. Got that one. And Finley driving it forward. Oh, just about give away a free kick there. He sat on his back for a moment. It's out of bounds. Being thrown in on the Finley forward line. Where's that?
Ball's having a bit of trouble seeing it. It's going a long way. Sandy Weeding got the ball. He's eventually gets his kick, but it goes straight in the hands of Waterfall on the centre wing position. He's kicked the ball up down a big line from behind Moody. I know, sort of Doyle picks the ball up and straight in the hands of Moody. Moody looking for Henry in the centre of the ground and find him with a deft pass indeed. The ball fading away to the right. He picks it up. He kicks it up looking for Simpkins. Simpkins going to mark this over the back of the pack and he's immediately going to run on. He's got a terrific amount of speed. He's dropped it once. Ray Gablik style. He eventually kicks the ball. The ball's going to dribble around for 1 point. Well, he's a bit unlucky there. The ball didn't bounce for him that second time. And that was very unfortunate. They had to be able to sit up for him. He would have been able to pick the ball up, perhaps run into an open goal or, maybe even pass the ball. Didn't. Now, Finley full back, kicking the ball out. A punch from Thomas from behind. Ball knocked to the ground. Finley clearing away quite easily on that half-forward flank and through the agency of Owen. Owen's got the ball. He's passed it in to the centre wing position. He's going to be caught from behind. He is. Sends a skimming pass across to Bond. Bond can't pick the ball up. Shepherd can't pick the ball up. The ball's knocked over here to the Finley player who runs in and kicks it straight down. Bond straight at full back as the plane, the jets fly overboard here, overhead here, casting out their vapours on the ground. The ball, a very poor kicking, and it's a Finley player running into an open goal. He's running into an open goal, and that was a very poor bit of play by the Cobram defence, and a dribble out from the back pocket position straight into the open arms of the Finley player in Pyle, and Pyle runs into an open goal and kicks a very, very easy goal, and that's just a giveaway. That's giveaway football, Neville.
I think so. When you're on the back line there and there's a lot of pressure, big kicks out of that back line seems to be the answer.
Almost the end of the quarter.
Yes, we're almost the end of the first quarter, and that goal wasn't very good for Cobram. They let Finley bring it right up the wing there. Some good handball and some great running on play by Finley. Ball bounces in the centre again. And a great knockout there by Moody. Henry runs for the ball, and there's good hand pass to Sandy Weeding, and he drives it down to Hudson Batty, and Hudson Batty standing in the goal and takes a great mark there. Great play out of the centre there. Great knockout by Moody to Danny Thomas, who handballs out. Henry, good play. Oh, there's the siren, but Hudson Batty gets his chance to put on another goal to bring Cobram up to 2-4 to 1-2.
Taking too long, Don?
Don Batty says he might be taking a bit long, and it's a beautiful kick straight through the centre. She's a sausage, as Peter Reynolds would say.
Well, an excellent bit of play there, and there's Maureen and Don Batty up here beside us, the mother and father of Hudson, absolutely in jubilation here in Hudson's goal. An excellent bit of play. A great body work by Hudson then, pushing back into his opponent, not touching him, but just positioning his body beautifully, and took a very, very nice overhead mark. And Cobram now, at this stage, go to the scorers are just putting up the score over there now, but it's 2-4, and that's 16 points, and they're leading Finley by 1 goal to 8 points. And so there's an 8-point lead here at the end of the first quarter. Well, a nip and tuck affair here at the Tocumwell ground here in that first quarter. No side really sort of gaining a clear lead over the other. Sides testing each other out a bit at this stage, I suppose. Magnificent conditions here for football here at Tocumwell. Absolutely the best finals conditions you'd ever wish to see. The dew now going off the ground. The ground in perfect conditions, been cut very close by the trustees over here at Tocumwell in excellent condition. The umpires now moving back into their positions. The boundary umpires on the edge of their squares. The umpires sort of looking down the field to the respective captains, gives them a bit of a clap as if to say, well, are you ready or not? Everyone appears to be ready now. As the umpire now moves in to bounce the ball for the start of this third quarter. And myself, Graham Gemmell, and we have this Neville Musticker in commentary here at the 85 Grand Final. And what a match we have. What a day we have. What a lot of commentators we have here. Once again, the umpire coming in to bounce the ball. It's Moody getting a big run at the ball, a rather negative knock. Could have gone either way, picked up by Brain. He's immediately downfield, and Bond and his opponent having a gigantic tussle. The ball knocked to the ground by Bond. Burke tries to kick the ball off the ground once. He does it a second time, though, straight into the hands of his Finley opponent, who's caught with the ball. And Aldridge, he was caught Picked up by Ventry now. Ventry's taking the free kick. He gets the pass out to Sandy Wood, who's playing a magnificent game. He really is. He runs with that left foot. He's really showing a touch of class. Kick the ball into Mustiger. Mustiger is from behind, but it's George Nicolopoulos. Gets the handball out to Bobby Burke. Bobby Burke had a good run at the ball. He kicked a long kick down, looking for Hudson Batty. Manipulation of the body. The ball's onto the ground, picked up by Henry. Henry onto the left foot, and he snapped a goal. Yes, it's a goal to Andrew Henry, running around on his left foot. Opportunist football by Henry. The ball coming to the ground. Hudson Batty not being able to mark the ball. The ball hits the ground, and Andrew Henry darting around onto his left foot, onto his wrong kicking foot, screwing it over his shoulder. That's a very fine goal to Cobram. Neville, an excellent bit of teamwork by Cobram.
Great bit of play there. Great kick by Bobby Burke. It was a real driver. Determination, grand final determination in that bit of play.
Right, excellent, Neville. The ground, the wind here at the ground at Tocumwal is just slightly favouring the Tocumwal end. That's the left of our picture end, and only very slightly. The flags, most of them hanging fairly limply there. Moody a big knockout there, but it's going straight to Bond. It comes off Bond's foot. He still gains possession of the ball. He eventually picks the ball up. That's fine play by Mark Bond, the Cobram captain, as he kicks the ball down to Henry. Henry keeps it in play once again. Well, no, he didn't keep it in play. The Cobram supporters, they're not happy about that. But the boundary umpire in the best position, and he's given it and deemed it out of bounds. Right in front of the Cobram the gallery over there, right in front of the far scoreboard. Picked up here, very fine play by Thomas once again, kicking in. Hudson is a little bit behind that time, but here's Nicolopoulos swooping on the ball. The ball's going to be cleared here by Waterfall. Runs it on his left foot, kicking it very close to the boundary line, and I think that could be out. No, it's nicely marked by Brain. Brain over there, he's kicking the ball into the centre of the ground, looking for his tall team. Robert Hocken coming from behind, spoils Finley, knocks the ball to the ground. Here's a chance for Shepherd. Shepherd's in the van, he picks the ball up, he can't quite get hold of the ball. In fact, it's been, and there's a free kick, I would say. Yes, it's a free kick, certainly against Finley. The Finley player in Elliott had the ball, and sorry, it's going the other way. Well, I don't know. Now, who knows that one? Now, that's something we'll have to look at later on. Bond marking, going back, and we'll mark. Oh, no, he won't mark the ball. Inexplicably, he falls down. He gives a rather loose handball, trying to get it back. I think, I'm sure he did. And I don't know what the hell Mark was trying to do then, but he's given it to Shepherd. And maybe an even up as Neville has said here, maybe an even up. The ball coming out in the Sandy Weed direction. A nice play by Simpkin there, bursting his way through the pack. He takes one bounce, runs onto that half-forward flank, gets a long kick up there, looking for Hudson Batty at the full forward. Hudson's in perfect position, gets his hand on the ball, picked up by Henry again. Another snap over the shoulder by Henry. This time it's not a goal. Not a goal this time.
Oh. Yes, it was a great snap again by Henry. Henry really coming into the game, Weeding. Few of these boys are really playing well on that forward line. Finley kick out here now. Finley boys everywhere. Danny Thomas goes up. Chris Mustiger goes up. The ball's a bit scrambly played. Looks like she might be a ball up. There we have a ball up with Danny Thomas going up for the knockout against Finley. Finley grabbed the ball, kick it out here on the wing. Hocking here just quietly taking it easy. Very half-hearted, lets the Finley bloke get the ball. Here's Bondi. Bondi drives in, knocks the ball forward. Hock gets the ball again. Handball's out to Chris Mustiger. Chris Mustiger's got an open.
Beautiful.
Kick it. Chris Mustiger handball. Shocking. Oh, play on, he says, but he didn't even have the ball. Anyway, it's a bowl up.
He's made 3 blues here, so.
Yeah, I think he's made a few blues. But then again, Chris had the chance to drive the ball up, but handball it and put the other chap under a lot of pressure. Moody going up there with the opposition. Finley forces his way through. Brain playing very well. Mark Bond goes up for the mark again. It's pushed out, but takes a mark. Bondi kicks it out here to Simpkin, who's making a great mark, great pass there to Ventry. Ventry handballs it out to Weeding, Sandy Weeding, who's playing well. Sandy's dropped on the ground, but he gets a fine kick away.
Come on, David.
David Gemmell up on the other wing.
David Gemmell on the far wing. He loses it, then picks it up, but there's been an infringement here. It's going to Cobram. It's going to Henry. Henry a long way out. He's been in everything at the moment. He kicked the ball in. There's a very casual bit of football all around here by Thomas, who just lopes back. A lovely pass here by Henry. He pushed into the wind beautifully. It came back, and Thomas has taken the easiest of marks. Now he's 35 metres out from goal. He's kicked it. He's gone and it's gone aside again. Actually, this game is a very, very similar game to last week. Cobram starting off like rockets in this first quarter, and it'll be interesting to see if they can retain this type of ability and this type of play for the rest of the game. Kick out from Bickerton from the full-back position. He's going to find Pora. Owen, I'm sorry, on that easily out there. He's knocked it across to his half. The Finley players are having a bit of trouble here. They're going to be swamped here. It's been picked up by Owen once again. He's in all sorts of troubles. He knocks the ball to the ground. A very fine bit of smothering there by the Cobram players. Ball's on the ground. It's kicked out to Hudson Batty. Hudson Batty from about 35 metres out from goal. He snapped into the goal square, but Finley player standing his ground. An excellent mark there by Owen, dropping back into that goal square and takes an excellent overhead mark.
Yes, great backing up there by Owen. He drives it out to Henry out there, but it's forced out of bounds. Why is the play always on the other side of the ground?
You want?
Play 6.5 minutes into the second quarter. Scrambly play over on the far side of the ground, and out of bounds again.
I always seem to give the commentary position to Neville when the ball's over the other side of the ground. It's probably because I can't see as well as him. Bobby Burke rushing through the ball in nowhere man's land. Ventry gets the ball. He gets a high tackle, picks the ball up. Cobram players, they're absolutely desperate. They're more desperate than Finley at the moment. Finley can't grab the ball up. They've been tackled ferociously by Cobram. It's really telling on the scoreboard here at the moment. And a good bit of play by Simpkin, forcing the ball out of bounds over there right in front of the scoreboard. As a glider flies over here, this picturesque scene here at Tocumwal this afternoon. Just about to be let off by his plane, knock-on, by the ball being held to him, and the umpire has seen that he could have got rid of that. Another poor decision by the umpire, but still, that's the way football goes. Maybe he's at the closer position. Ball's knocked over into the hands of Brain. Brain running down to the half-forward line. He's hotly in pursuit. He's been caught the last moment. A lovely pass going in there, but it's been paid. He plays on immediately to Brain. Brain running into an open goal. Gets a nice knock, and he hits the post. He hits the post. And that's we must attribute that miss then solely to Scott Thomas. He's received a mighty hit but he came in and he tackled absolutely ferociously. And here's the ball, the kick out coming out to Chris Musty, having a bit of trouble. He's been dived on top and it's going to be in the back. But Scott Thomas coming across in. He's hurt. Chris Musty is down. He's hurt, but he's not. No, it's Scott Thomas hurt. He's not. The ball's been kicked out to Bond. Doyle. A poor kick to him, and it's been dribbled out of bounds. And Brain in the hands of the trainers over there on the far side. 3 or 4 trainers coming out, and Scott Thomas absolutely. That's what finals is all about. He came in at 100 miles an hour to clean that fellow up, and he did. He cleaned him up, but out of the corner of his eye, Brain saw him coming, and he's hit the post from an absolute dead sitter. Oh, and there's a free kick given away by David Gemmell, and it's going to Aldridge, not having the ball.
Yes, Aldridge's got the ball, and he's going to have a go for goal. He's in a good position. You can see the goals, and it looks like no, she's kicked her through for a point. Yep, touched as she went through. Yes, there was a great bit of play by Brain and Finley driving it up the centre there in that last bit of passage, but Cobram kicking out now, not sure where to go, kicks her straight up the centre. Not a good idea, but Cobram boys, and Sheppy goes up for the mark. Bit scrambly, Finley trying hard there, but tripped Finley, and Finley get another free kick. Yes, Joel Kennedy tripped the Finley player in, what's his name?
Brain.
Brain, is it? Yes, Brain. He seems to be the focal point in this game, and it looks like it's touched again. It was a good touch. Right on the last inch, I think. Right.
The score, 3-6 as Moody comes out and kicks it out. I think he must have kicked it out with his knee then. It was a very poor kick out. And it's gone to Robinson. He's taking the ball on the half-forward flank. He's going back. He's kicking the ball down to the centre wing. That's a lovely kick. Big jump from behind and a magnificent mark to Simpkin from behind. You could see that all the way. It was going to, it was on, wasn't it? He took the mark, passed down to Henry, and that's a scintillating bit of football right down the ground by Cobram. That's really premiership stuff as Henry kicks up a bomb up there looking for Dan Thomas. Ball's knocked out of his hands rather too easily. Ball's been picked up by Joel Kennedy. And that's an interesting move, Neville, with Joel Kennedy's on. I'm sure he didn't start off the game, but a great psychological advantage to have Joel Kennedy on the field. A very strong player. He's got that crook ankle, but it's great to see him out on the field. Ball kicked down here by Thomas, kicking down to the goal square, and Bickerton has marked over Hudson Batty. Tall, strong player this Bickerton. And takes a nice mark, kicks out to the centre half back position there, but he's only kicked out as far as Cobram. Simpkin has kicked the ball a high kick. There's no one under from either side. Players up and down, and the ball's knocked out into the path of a Finley player who desperately gets the ball out. There's players busting, falling over each other. Ball kicked out to Ventry, is underneath the ball. He fails to take the mark. He grabs it on about the third attempt, gets a scrounging kick downfield. It's picked up by Finley's centre half back. In Owen, who kicks the ball out to the centre wing position. There's a chase on here. The runners are on here. A great tackle there by Cobram. He's held over the ball. He didn't have the ball, says the umpire. The ball kicked down to the centre half forward position, and he's a loose player. And this is Cobram's undoing. They're a good side in attack, but they don't butter up and come back and defend as well as they should. Kick up there by Oldies, up to the full forward line. Moody strong from behind. Brain picking up the ball, snapping away at goal there, and he's kicked a point. Neville, here we are. It's over to you at the 12-minute mark.
Yes, that Brain, they've got to watch him. They've got to come back to their back line. They've got the ball on the forward line, and Finley's all of a sudden shooted up the back line. There's no one home. Finley's just been a little bit bad luck in those few points. It's mark there taken by number 27, whoever he is. 13, Mayer takes a mark there for Finley. And Finley attacking their forward line. Haven't given up any hope. Beautiful day, beautiful girls here walking around.
Yeah, I thought you'd notice that, Neville. It's, it's one of your fortes, looking at those beautiful girls.
There's a kick up, but it's not going to make it. She's going through the points. Another point to Finley. I think Finley's going to catch up in points first, and then maybe Cobram better do something about it. What do you think, Grant?
I certainly hope it's, they don't catch up with us in passes, Neville. But it's a bit of pressure, I suppose, by the Cobram defence here in kicking for the ball. They're forcing their players, the opposition out a bit further from goal. A scrambly bit of play out there on that far half forward, far half back line. Simpkin knocking the ball around, and once again going out of bounds. Quite a handy lead by Cobram at this stage, a 13-point lead at the 14-minute mark here of this quarter. It's a Finley player, very strong piece of play by Finley, coming out, and he's sent over a magnificent pass to his full forward. And I'm not quite sure who the player is. He certainly hasn't mucked around with the ball. He's kicked it up, and it hasn't been touched. It's gone through for a goal. That's made the score a different 7 points. A good goal, a good bit of play by Finley, sweeping the ball down from that half back. Cobram not really clearing the ball out of that back line well enough, and as a result, quite an easy goal then registered to the Finley combination. Neville, are the boys going to form a hold or what?
Yes, there's a few players down at the moment, don't you think? The players that are up, Simpkins playing very well, and Henry.
Yep.
Who else? Moody's punching out very well on the ruck. Joel Kennedy's going off, and who's that? Hocking, is it? Hocking coming on. Joel,
I think he's quite fit now.
No, Joel mightn't be too fit, but oh yes, yeah. Moody doesn't go for the knock, but the ball drops into his hands, and it's driven down on the forward. But Finley in Domenico grabs the ball and kicks her out there to another Finley player who handballs it very quickly. That's Ulrich. Hands ball out, and Finley driver down that wing. Who's that? Moody. Handballs again. Handballs to Gemmell. Gemmell out there with Ventry trying to get the ball, but she's a bit of a scrambly play over the far side, and there's another ball up. the ball up right in front of the dressing sheds. As I said, the whole game seems to be over that side. Great handball out there by Finley, but bad luck. Bobby Burke doesn't grab the ball. He's playing doesn't seem to be able to hold the ball today. Another scrambly bit of play and should be another ball up.
10.5 minutes.
10. How many we got?
15 and a half.
15 and a half minutes in the second quarter. It must be usually around about 17 minutes in the quarter. And Cobram's got to get this out of that forward line. Hello, they've found the free kick here in the scramble, and Finley get a free kick in their forward line again. Cobram can't afford another goal before the half-time score. Bobby Burke goes up the ball, just misses again. Player Delminico's got the ball, drives it forward, but he kicks it into the man on the mark, which was it goes back to Finley, and Finley is still driving forward. Cobram got the ball and he snaps for goal, and he kicks a point. That was Owen for Finley, just snaps for goal. Finley are having a bit of bad luck up the forward line, but they've been attacking the goal all this quarter, haven't they, Graham?
Yes, all the quarter, and the majority of the quarter, and Cobram have only had a couple of sorties downfield, and they've looked good when they've gone down, but as we stated last week, the defensive Cobram, it's a bit of a problem. It's a kick out. In fact, it's kicked out that badly that by Doyle that hasn't been touched by a Cobram player, and that's a free kick to Finley. And Brain's going to take it. He's kicked it back. He's kicked just as bad, but I don't know whether he's passed that or not. But it's fallen straight in the hands of his teammate, who's Quincy. Scott Hamilton, who's only 15 metres out from goal. This is going to. He kicked it off one leg, and it's a point. Oh, it looks as though it swung through for a goal and come back, but RDO on the goal umpire knows more than we do. And by God, they were very, very lucky. They got out of jail on that occasion. Cobram 3 goals 6, 24 points. To Finley 2 goals 9, 21 points. A difference of 3 points here at half time at Cobram in the 1985 grand final. Well,
who do you think the best players in that little passage were, Graham?
Well, just sort of reading down from our book here, we've got, Chris Mustick has done some handy things around the ground. Brian Simpkin has been in everything, and he really has been quite brilliant in some of his forward moves. Robert Hocking being consistent, though he's taken off for some time in that last quarter. Andrew Henry, I thought, was one of our better players when the ball did get up on that forward line. Danny Thomas did some useful things. Mark Bond at centre half back.
Mark Bond, Bobby Burke, he's had the ball a few times but hasn't been able to hold it. He's not playing at his best. We've got Craig Shepherd, he's been in a bit of play. But
yes, he has been. Played some good football.
Scott Thomas has really been moving his body around the place, and I think Finley are looking behind him when they hear Scott's footsteps, which is very good. Joel Kindy, well, he's only been on the ground for a little while and was taken off again. Robbo, how do you think?
Robbo's played quite well, quite consistent on that in that back pocket position.
Moody.
Big Moody played probably a lone hand in the ruck, and don't really know if he's perhaps looking for his rovers as much as he should be. He likes to knock the ball and give it a good thump, but maybe he might be a bit off trying to palm the ball down and use the rovers. Hudson Batty has kicked 2 goals up from full forward from limited opportunities. Stephen Gemmell has hardly been sighted in the game as yet. David Gemmell has done some handy things around the ground, and John Ventry has done some useful things in the half-back line. But all in all, I think that Cobram are really going to have to lift their game here in the second half of the game. You just get the feeling that Finley can turn it on for 10 or 15 minutes and win this game. On the other hand,
the Finley boys' Brain seems to be like last time. He seems to be the forward moving player on the Finley side, and they're Bickerton, he's been a bit empty.
Here we are back at the football. We've missed the first goal. In fact, what has happened is that Finley have swept the ball down the ground in the first 2.5 minutes of the quarter, and they've kicked a rather easy goal through rather loose defence and a pretty ordinary umpiring decision here in the centre of the ground. But that's history now. They're 3 points behind. Stephen Gemmell kicks the ball out of the centre of the ground. The ball doesn't favour the Cobram players. They're not sort of making the play at all. Picked up by Thomas. Thomas running downfield from 40 metres out from goal. He slams it into the goals and it's hit the post. Wow, it's hit the post. And a bit of commentary, a bit of support here now as Yvonne Gemmell's arrived at the ground. You can hear her in the background there. And they really do need a bit of support here at the moment. They're not getting anything at all. And a poor kick out by the Finley full-back in the red-headed fellow from full-back. He kicked it out to Moody. Moody runs in an open goal, kicks the handball to George Nicolopoulos, and Nicolopoulos has popped it through. Do you think he should have played on there, Neville? What do you think?
Oh, well, now that he's kicked the goal, I think it's all right, but very dangerous.
Yes, rather dangerous thing to do at that stage, I suppose. But then I suppose I've seen Moody kick the ball too before, and he's not such a great kick for goal, but clever thing on Greg's behalf then, seizing the opportunity, realising there was no one in front of him, and took off, sent out a handball that was a little bit ordinary, and it's eventually been kicked through for a goal, and that's a goal they needed at that stage of the quarter.
Yes, a good return.
4 minutes.
Good return to Finley's first goal, who was kicked in about 2 minutes, so that should lift the Cobram side. After a disappointing start to the third quarter.
Yes, meanwhile back in the centre of the ground here at Tocumwell, what a magnificent day for football. Everything is in order here for a great day's football. Moody trying to go for the big one from behind. The ball's knocked out by Hocking. A lovely handball by Weeding. Weeding out to Henry. Henry's in a little bother. The ball's picked up by Thomas. Thomas has been gets through the pack, gets a handball over to Stephen Gemmell. Stephen Gemmell handballs it to no one in particular, and goes to Finley. Weeding's underneath this ball again. The big timber climb over the top of him. There's a scrimmage of plays picked up by Finley, running through in Pora. Pora does the blind turn, the blind balk, and sends out a lovely pass out to and the Finley player's ducked his head into the play. The ball's loose on the ground. Bond runs through from the ball. The ball's been picked up by Brain. He runs one way onto his left foot. He must have thought that thought that Scott Thomas was coming up behind him again. Then Neville.
I think so, but Cobram have got to keep on their hammer. This Finley crowd is really determined. Moody goes up with a punch and punches it straight out to Scott Thomas, who punches over his head and through for a point. Not real good play. He could have grabbed that, but Moody. Ball kicked out by Doyley. Set out to Finley. Finley just flies through and kicks a. Number 8 Pora for Finley. Come through then, and very lucky that it wasn't a goal for Cobram. Little bit of lapse. Where's the Cobram players? That's right. There's Finley are running all over him at the moment. Running loose here. Another kick out here. Look at this loose player. And Ventry's 10 feet behind. Here's a pass to probably Brain, is it? Delminico, Finley.
Yes, Delminico. A nice pass to speed into Delminico. From his teammate there, and he's only 30 metres out, directly in front. Sandy Weeding on the mark. He's coming in, lines it up, and the umpire is not moving particularly far either way. In fact, it's gone right through for a goal, and that's put Finley back into the lead. Cobram's reply after Finley's first goal has been answered once again, and the score now, a 3-point lead to Finley. 4 goals 10, 34 points. To Cobram, 4 goals 7, 31 points.
Cobram have got to get more determined if they want this game. It's going into a bit of a lapse like last week. They rely on 2 or 3 players. Quite a few players down.
Well, that did happen last week, of course, didn't it? With the getting a terrific lead at last time, 3/4 time, then they just sort of died completely in that last half. I think just look a little bit. There's a big knock there by Moody. It seems to be a lot of individual stuff here by Cobram. Everything's been done. It's picked up by Nicolopoulos. He's tossed the ball down to the centre half forward position with an end-over-end kick. There doesn't seem to be a lot of Cobram support here. David Gemmell knocks the ball out to his brother Stephen Gemmell. Stephen Gemmell tries to kick it off the ground, and it's picked up by Hudson Barry. Hudson Barry snaps it, and it's going to roll through for a goal. Yes, it's a roll through for a goal. Excellent bit of play by 3 or 4 Cobram players then. The Gemmell brothers knocking the ball on, handballing it different ways, and eventually picked up by Hudson Batty, who screwed the ball over his right-hand shoulder, and the ball's rolled through for a good goal. And
a great goal, yes. Another great goal.
3 points up.
We're 3 points up. In the 8-minute mark, that was a quick return by Cobram, but
time's up above it.
Oh yeah. It's 8 minutes into the third quarter. Very quick goal, quick return to the Finley goal there. Going for bounce again, Moody going for the bounce. The Finley players are elected to come from the side on now, and yes, a great tackle there by Cobram. The Ventry going for the ball here. Ventry's got the ball, kicks her out. Here we got Sandy Weeding here. Could drive him over the boundary. Oh, that was out of bounds, wasn't it? Oh, he kicks it out of bounds. Pora kicks it out of bounds for Finley. I think she might have been.
You could say that was a poorer kick by Pora then. She kicked it out of bounds on their half forward flank. It's Ventry now. Coming out now, kicking the ball down to the centre wing, looking for Simpkin. It's not. Sandy Weeding over the back. He gets a tap down once, and he's actually taken the mark. That is a mark. He's played on. He's forced to play on because the umpire hasn't blown a whistle. I think this umpire's a little bit suspect, don't you? There's Chris Mustiger coming. This is Neville's boy in the run for the ball. No, he's second in the run for the ball now. Bobby Burke's going to stop it. It's been kicked out by Finley. An unfortunate incident there, and the ball's been chipped over the centre. Bond from behind. A big long knock, but straight into the path of the Finley player who runs in an open goal. And here he is. He runs in an open and gives it now 9, gives it to 12. And it's Hamilton. It's Scott Hamilton running into an open goal and kicks the easiest of goals. Pops her through, and that's another disappointing aspect of this game, mate. The scores now. Look, I don't know what's going to happen here. Can Cobram come back? It's nip and tuck here at the moment. Goal for goal in this grand final. Scores Finley, 5 goals, 10. And that's, in my calculations, that's 46 points. And they're leading Cobram by 5 goals, 7 in 43 points. Well, maybe we should add up again, but who cares really at this stage? It's the side that's on top at the end of the game that wins it.
40
Neville.
to 37. 40
Neville.
points to 37 points. Here we go for the bounce in the centre again. Cobram boys have got to rove this ball out very quick. Here we got Moody going for the knock again, but Finley ready there to pounce on the ball. Bobby Burke gives it a quick. Moody's got the ball. Pulls out of the centre and drives it out of the centre here to Danny Thomas.
Go, Danny.
Danny's got the ball. Handball's out. Gets caught by Finley. Finley's got the ball. Finley handball's out, but it's a bad handball. Cobram trying real hard there. There's Sheppy's diving in there. Doesn't know who to handball it to. Dives on top of him.
Free kick.
Chris Mustiger gets a free kick. Chris Mustiger tries to handball.
Come on, Chris.
Drive it down, Chris. Chris kicks it 2-2. Sheppy's. Oh, Simo should have. Stephen Gemmell's got the ball, drives it down the forward line. Who's in the forward line? Finley.
David didn't get on it.
David Gemmell's got the.
And sorry, we're getting that excited. As you can see, the camera is wobbling up and down here with excitement. As we in the commentary position here, beside ourselves with excitement. The ball's bounced up in the full forward position. Cobram looking a bit more. Having a bit more of a go here at the moment. The ball's held to the Cobram player, picked up by Nicolopoulos. The Finley player's ridden to the ground. That's a free kick to Finley. Well, he's anyone's game here, isn't it, eh? It could go either way at this stage. Bickerton gets the ball out. A nice mark taken by Shepherd out there on the half forward flank for Cobram. As Donamore and Batty walk past our commentary position here and give us a bit of a smile. The ball kicked out here. Henry can't fails to mark the ball. The Finley players dive. One Finley player dived on top of the ball. He hasn't done much with it. He's only dived on in desperation to hold it in position because he didn't want to let it go. Very tense moment here for both sides. Cobram can gain a score here. It could be a very decisive part of the game. Finley player in possession of the ball. Bobby Burke held him from behind. The ball's picked up here by Henry. Henry's getting a kick. It's going to go the distance if someone can take the mark. And David Gemmell's underneath the mark and he's taken an absolute Stephen Gemmell it is. He's going to play on immediately. He plays it immediately to Hudson Batty. And Hudson Batty, not Hudson Batty. It's heavily disguised as Hudson Batty. But it's Brian Simpkin. In my excitement here, I've called the wrong name. But you know who it is. It's the captain. He's marked the ball some 15 metres out from goal. And he's going to come in and kick truly for a goal. A goal there has put them back in the lead. Cobram, 6 goals, 10. 40 points. Sorry. Cobram. Cobram. There's a voice in the background. Our statistician Jack Cameron in the background filling us in on the details here. But all we can say at this stage is it's a 3-point lead. Neville, a good goal by Cobram there.
Oh yes, a good goal, good return. Good play by Cobram. Short pass in the forward line. Simo determined, took the mark. We're back here to the centre again. Moody lining up again, and Mayer, I think. Mayer, is it? Going for go for the knot. It's been a good tussle in the centre here. Whoever gets it out seems to get that goal.
I can't hear.
Domenico there, roving very well around the centre there. For Finley.
At the 14-minute mark here, Neville, of this quarter.
Yes, 14-minute mark. They go up to the ball again. It's knocked out in Finley's way. Who comes in? Bondi comes through. It's knocked towards Ventry. Ventry tries to kick it off the ground. Finley's playing along the ground. Finley gets caught with the ball, but number 20, which is he's not listed. Kick forward line and Bondi takes a mark. Very lucky. Bounces out of his hands. But Bondi, hello, what's going on? Man must have run over his mark, taking him back. Should be. Man run over his mark, so he's making Bondi take the mark again.
I don't know what happened there. I mean, he played on, and the umpires call him back behind the mark. Absolutely ridiculous bit of play. Why can't you play on from that position on the ground? Anyhow, it's a poor umpiring decision once again. The ball back in here to over the back and picked up by Domenico. He screws the ball around and it's not a mark. It should be a mark play. A clever handball out by Shepherd out to Bond. Bond kicking down to the centre wing position, looking from Sandy to Robert Hocking, who's received a free kick. Played the advantage rule. Good bit of umpiring then. He kicked the ball out to the centre wing position, and here it's Moody taking a mark. Just about 10 metres up from the centre of the... No, it's Musticker. Musticker getting the kick down into the half-forward flank. He spread the ball out beautifully. There's 2 Cobram players in here. Picked up by Simpkin. He can't quite get the handle on the ball. The Finley player bursts through the pack. He's tackled from behind by Simpkin. Ball's out to Henry. Henry's bustled from behind. Picked up by Sweeney, who's just come onto the ground. Sweeney tries to manipulate the ball around. He's tackling well. Robert Hocking picks up the ball. Sends out a handball to Chris Mustiger. Chris Mustiger taps the ball on the ground to Stephen Gemmell. He handballs the ball over the top of the pack to Thomas. Thomas handballs the ball to Simpkin. Simpkin snaps over his shoulder from about 40 metres out, and he's decked after he's kicked the ball, and a free kick to Cobram upfield. Upfield, a free kick upfield. Well. That is something we really needed. And Simpkin, no, the umpire's probably given a fair decision in that case. Simpkin decked after he's kicked the ball. He screwed the ball in, and it's been right in front of the goal square, and it's been taken by George Nicolopoulos, who kicks a goal. Well done, George. And a 9-point lead now is at this stage of the, and the siren is imminent at the 15-second mark of the third quarter. That's a very handy lead. Actually, Neville kicking with that slight breeze in the last quarter might be helpful.
Yes, it could be. There's not much of a breeze, but it's a very exciting game. It's kick for kick, and Finley's very determined, just as Cobram.
More air going down.
They're lining up in the centre again for punch out. Doyle's in the ruck now.
Klemke.
Doyle and Klemke. Doyle goes up, knocks her out to the side man, and Finley gets the ball in Domenico and drives it out here to Wilson. Wilson goes for the mark. Scott Thomas misses the mark. Bondi comes through there and drives it down the wing. And there's a great mark there by Danny Thomas. Oh, great mark, yes.
Look at
Weeding out in the centre there, calling for the ball. Chris Musticker.
That's where he was. Come on, go Simo.
And Simo tries. Oh, 2 Cobram players collide. Musticker and Simpkin. Not talking. Bit of talking would have helped in the centre there. Ball being bounced up. The ball goes straight up in the air. Punch in the air. Chris Musticker goes for another punch. Finley gets the ball, handballs it out. But Doyley comes through, kicks the ball.
It's almost time.
To nobody. There's Finley. Finley drives the ball down to the centre. Here we are up the back line again. We've got a Cobram, Bondi's playing very well here. Playing the ball in front of him. Finley determined to get the ball. Only a few minutes before the siren blows for the. Cobram gets a free kick, pushing the back.
Come Bondi.
Bondi's playing in front of the ball all the time there. He's playing a great game. Bondi drives the ball down here. Danny Thomas goes for the mark. There's about 14 go for the mark. But Danny gets a... What?
Finley were playing there.
Finley is playing. Oh. Well, there you are.
Will be marked by Moore. Free kick given to Moore, actually. We're almost at the end of the conclusion of this quarter, and Cobram now desperately fighting on that back line with Bond and Co. Picked up by Brain. Brain's running in. Oh no, this is bad play by the loose defence by Cobram. And the siren will go any moment now, I would say. And there's a mark being taken right in the teeth of goals. Can't quite pick up the player at this stage and his number. He's kicked it for a point.
Oh,
wow.
What a save.
Neville. What are you down on your knees there for, Neville?
What a save.
That's interesting to see Neville down his knees praying. And that's a terrific thing. That's
not good for Finley.
We have the 19-minute mark. I don't know. I think
Finley not giving up.
I think at time Kevin might have lost his watch here, Neville. I don't know what's happening.
He's got to drive that ball out of that line. Finley all go up. Oh, great mark. But he doesn't play it.
He's a coach. He's just
Shepard clears the ball out here to Henry.
Go!
Finley's got the ball in front of him. 24, kicks the ball, smothered, good smother by Danny Thomas. Chris Mustigan misses the ball again. He's down on his hands and knees again, but he gets up and he runs away, streams away.
Don't go now.
Kicks the ball out.
Hurry!
No.
Hurry!
Simo's got the ball. We only got a few seconds to go before the sirens to go. And Finley's got it down. Hudson Batty's got the ball. Down on the ground. Pull the ball away from him. Waiting. Henry comes in. He's on the ground fighting.
20 minutes. So nearly the 20-minute mark now. I can't really. It's a very long quarter here. This third quarter. I can't really understand. I think they might have gone to sleep. It's a bit of time on. Certainly a lot of time on. You know, nearly 4 minutes of time on. Here's your Cobram player. The ball's kicked by Hudson Bay. Hudson screwed over his shoulder, and he's put it through for a goal. Put it through. Well, what I know just as well. I didn't blow that sign, and thank God they have gone to sleep up there, Neville. And the Cobram supporters here, and look at them, absolutely elated here. The Cobram supporters jumping up and down, perhaps not jumping up and down, but you know, really very excited about that. A wonderful bit of play, and here we are now. We've gone. It's 20 and a half minutes. 20 and a half minutes of this quarter. I think we might have made a mistake on our little counter here too. Anyhow, it's meanwhile it's back to the football.
Yeah, it could be wrong too.
Well, Adrian has just said he could be wrong for the first time in his life. Well, that's a very unusual occurrence for Benny to be wrong.
I think I'll stop off.
Anyhow, no, we might be wrong with that 20-minute mark because, and we're expecting the siren to go any moment, and it's meanwhile back at the football.
Made it more exciting.
Well, that's quite correct. In fact, there's a few half fellas over here. It's Cobram there and there. There's the siren.
There's the siren. I needed that siren.
Well, now here we are. The scores. The three-quarter time scores here at the is Cobram 8 goals, 7 behinds, 55 points, and they're leading Finley. 5 goals, 11, 41 points. A lead there of 14 points. A very handy lead, and you know, as I said before, kicking with a slight breeze there, Neville. It's not much of a. There's a bit of a flutter on the Neville Mustic, a flag over there, but other than that, you know, there's hardly a breath of wind, really, is there?
No, it's a great day. I don't think you can use the wind as any advantage. It's just the players lifting their game. This last quarter should be very exciting. Should be an exciting match.
And the netballers, Don. Here we have Don Batty, father of the famous full forward down here in Hudson. Batty, Don, you must be extremely proud of the way the team's played, and particularly Hudson.
Yeah, well, that last goal of Hudson's was really something. That left foot, I was really pleased with that one. The team itself, I think they were in a bit of a rut there during the second and early in the third quarter, but they look as though they're out of it now, and hopefully they can just go on with it this last quarter. They've got a 14-point break, and that should be enough to give them a bit of confidence for the start of the last quarter. Right,
thank you very much, Don. Don, you don't think that lapse that lapse they've had in this last quarter throughout the year will occur again? Do you think Joe can get them fired up for this last quarter?
Oh, that remains to be seen, obviously. But I mean, you know, there's only 15 minutes of football between them and a premiership, and I'm sure they'll go for it right now.
Good, thank you very much, Don.
All right.
grand final. 85 grand final. There's a shot of Rolly Watt just in camera there at the moment, the league footballer for Geelong, or ex-league footballer for Geelong, just walking out off the ground. And with friends. And a shot of the crowd there that Adrian has shown us at the moment. The scores at the 3/4 time mark. Cobram 8 goals 7, Finley 5 goals 11. Difference of 14 points. Now, actually, Paul Ellis, a supporter of the Cobram club. Paul, the wind has sprung up at the moment. The wind, will that be decisive?
No.
Won't be decisive at all, he says. But it has sprung up, it just picked up a fraction, I'd say, and that's going to, well, if anything, it's going to favour Cobram. They're kicking down to the town end. Here we are, the last quarter, 85 grand final. There's a knockout by Cobram, and the Mustic has picked the ball up. The Finley player didn't want the ball, really. He didn't want the ball. He's gone around it, picked up by Simpkin. Simpkin back over the top, picked up by Nicolopoulos. He drops it once, gets knocked off the ball. He's still in there. He's picked it up. He's running onto his right foot, and he's stuck it through for a goal. Yes, he's put it through for a goal. A magnificent goal to Nicolopoulos, and there he has been absolutely swarmed by his players. A magnificent bit of play by George Nicolopoulos. And 28 seconds into the first quarter, into the last quarter, he's got knocked about, he's got pushed over, he's got prodded, he's gone through the pack, he's stumbled, he's picked up the ball, he's run on the other side of the pack, and he's kicked a magnificent goal, and certainly a match lifting goal. And that's really sort of put Finley in a predicament now, and that wind really has sprung up. It's got quite strong there now. If you just have a look at those flags over there, you'll find that it really has picked up in the last 10 minutes, and that may be a blessing for Cobram. It may be Cobram's day if that's the case. Goal, 28 seconds in the quarter. Another decisive factor in the goal at time was the Finley player put one hand out of the ball and was swept away by Cobram. Picked up by, once again in the centre, Doyle knocking the ball on. Strong play. Picked up by his Finley counterpart, knocked over his head. Musticker knocks the ball away, but straight in the hands of Sweeney, who has just come onto the ground. He's chipped over a little one, over the back to Nicolopoulos. Nicolopoulos is behind this time. It's no mark. Touched by Finley first. It's Simpkin buttering up. He follows downfield, knocks it on cleverly to Stephen Gemmell. Stephen Gemmell from about 40 metres out from goal, looking for Hudson Batty, who almost pulls in a specker, but he's knocked it on in front of him. It's out of bounds. About 5 metres long from the point post. Cobram in attack, and the wind has certainly sprung, and it is Cobram's day. And see Joe Shelley over there on 1 foot and then another foot over there in the coach's box. He must be extremely excited after last year's letdown. And with at the top, so he's Sweeney knocking the ball back cleverly into play. It's David Gemmell coming through strong. The ball's on the ground now. No one can sort of gain any advantage whatsoever. The umpire's called for bounce up, and it's getting a little bit cold and in the shade. Neville, you were indisposed there for 28 seconds of that quarter, but in that time that you're away?
Just talking with the coach, Joe, and he's very excited with this game, and he's quite determined that these boys are going to lift their game in this last quarter, and looks like they're doing that.
Yeah, and there's a very fine bit of play by, I can't think of his name now, number 5, and his name is Weeding, and he's kicked a point. A nice fine kick out by Bickett and kicking out to the to his half-back flank. The mark's been taken. He's taken a little bit too long. He's got to get on with the job. Finley really got on with the job. He's gone short. And he's gone out to number 15, who's taken a very strong mark in Owen's been pushed around and prodded around here. I don't know what Owen's trying to do. He should be going back on his mark and trying to take his kick. They've got time against him at this stage. And he's gone over the mark. It's Stephen Gemmell's gone over the mark. Probably not such a bad tactics at this stage of the game. He's giving his side a chance to reorganise. He's telling the player to go back on the mark. Time is of essence, of course, for Cobram at this stage. Neville.
Over them. Yes, Finley, Elliott there knocks it over the back, but there's a good kick there by Mark Bond. He's playing a brilliant game. Dan Thomas, Gemmell forces the ball on there, but no one there for Cobram to carry the ball through the forward line.
Oh, nice.
They're battling there.
Open goal.
Stephen Gemmell's got open goal and drives it through. Yes, great goal there by Stephen Gemmell. What do you think, Graham?
Well, that's my boy who kicked that, and I'm extremely excited about that factor. But that was a very fine bit of play by Cobram. A lovely smother off the boot there by Dan Thomas. The Finley defender looks like he's going to clear the ball out, and he's dived over the ball. The ball's fallen into Stephen Gemmell's hands, and he's running from about 30 metres out and kicked the easiest of goals. And that's a 27-point lead here now at the 4.5 minute mark of this first quarter, and 2 quick goals coming from Cobram. Has that broken Finley's back, Neville?
Oh no, I wouldn't be too sure of it yet, but Cobram very determined now. A few goals lead, and the boys have got that taste in their mouth, I think. 4-goal lead. The boys have got a taste in their mouth. Doyle goes up for the punch. Simo's in there, on the ground, got the ball under his arm there, not going to let it go. He says, that's my ball.
Cobram winning in the centre has made the difference.
Yeah, that's a good point too there. Yes, that's quite true there. Getting the ball out of that centre, you know, it's very...
Yes.
A big factor in this quarter, isn't it, Neville?
Made all the difference there. Hocking taps the ball over to the forward line there, who's Sweeney, playing very well since he's come on in the pack there. It's a punch out there, and 2 Finley players going for the ball. 13 in Mayer, chasing the ball, well tackled by Cobram, drives the ball down to the forward line. And we've got Doyley tries to get the ball. Thomas is playing very well on the back line there. He's really there. Finley, I think, have felt him. The ball punched out by Finley. Cobram determined. They're diving on the ball, not letting it out of there.
Well, you can hear it. You can hear it from here. The roar of the Cobram spectators. They're right in front of their in their box over there. So they were voicing their disapproval on that decision there. But well, they're going along in leaps and bounds here at the moment. 5.5 minutes into the last quarter of the grand final. 27-point lead. And I'd hate to say it, Neil, but I think they're doing it easy. Would you say that?
At this stage, yes. They've got it on the forward line, not letting it up past the forward line. Sweeney's got the ball, kicks it out. Bit of a tackle, won't let Finley get away with it. They're diving on it. Umpire letting the play go on there a bit scrambly. It's right over on the far wing.
Can't bounce up.
Won't bounce the ball though.
I think he's a bit reluctant to bounce this ball.
Fills in a bit of time though.
It fills in a bit of time for him.
Saves him running up and down the ground, I suppose.
Well, once again the bounce up. Finley trying to clear the ball. It's knocked sensibly into the centre of the ground by Cobram. Simpkins ridden into the ground from behind. Finley cleared from the half-back line. Moody's running through, gathers the ball. He's caught from behind. He dribbles a kick along to the boundary line, and that might be the best place forward. It's out of bounds on the centre wing, the true centre wing position. It's right in front of the Cobram spectators. I think Irene Wood might be over there with a walking stick. I'm not quite sure. Poking some player in the eye.
She'll have the umbrella out.
She'll have that umbrella out. That's happened in grand finals before, but that's history now. A scrimmage of players once again. No one sort of gained an advantage at all. Picked up by it's going to run out of boundary line again. Well, I think we can, Neville, if you've got your champagne bottle there, I think we can just about crack that champagne. Yvonne, get that bottle of champagne.
Thrown out there, and Finley taps it over their shoulder. But Cobram and Finley diving on the ball. Now the ball up. Ball going up there. Doyley going up for the punch again. Gets a good punch out. Sweeney dives on it. Weeding dives on it. Handballed out by Finley. It's tapped in the air, and Finley are running for the ball. Finley got the ball. From the 13, handballs it out. Mayer handballs it out to Finley, and they drive it down the wing there, and there's no one at home. No one at home.
Again, put the champagne back in.
Better put the champagne.
I think we might
put the champagne away. That was terrible play by Cobram there. They let the Finley players get away, and a couple of men not minded too well.
Now, look, I think all this nonsense about us not winning now is a lot of nonsense. I think we can come home from here. Only halfway through this last quarter, by crikey.
That was Wilson for Finley, kicks that goal.
No, a player has gone on off here. I'm not really quite sure who it is. It's not Alan Moffat, the Cobram trainer, running out now, talking to Mark Bond, and just sort of... and there's a shot of the Cobram spectators, and Joe Shelley at the coach's box now, just receiving some instructions, giving some instructions to his runner. And Alan Moffat, the runner, the senior player for Cobram, he's the Cobram runner, sending out an urgent message then to Mark Bond to tighten up a bit on that half-back line. That'll be the order of the day here now, and a bit of tightening up to be done. Once again, umpire Johnson comes in to bounce the ball. He's knocked it. The ball's been knocked down, picked up by Robert Hawkins. Robert Hawkins, he's played a good game. He's had a good final series. He kicked the ball out down, a high kick out there to Henry. Henry's immediately playing on, as he doesn't really have to do that at this stage, but he's gaining the advantage. Kick out to Sandy Whitting. What a magnificent player this Sandy Whitting is. Only small in stature, but he's in everything, and he's a very skillful player. And there's a magnificent leap by Mustick up there a mile. and his father has a huge smile on his face as he sees that. But he's knocked the ball, but Finley have cleared it, and it's kicked out of bounds once again. 9 minutes, bit over 9 minutes in this last quarter. Well, there'll be celebrations in the town tonight. In fact, I don't know if that champagne can be got out just yet. There's some strong play by Robert Hocken coming through there, meaning he's Finley playing with everything he's got in his body, and that's the way grand finals are won. And a magnificent tackle once again, this time by it's Brian Simpkins. Brian Simpkin. And it receives a 15-yard penalty. A pretty scrawny old kick out to centre half forward. Finley looked like clearing the ball. A scrimmage of players, and the umpire is going to blow his whistle, call for a bounce. Cobram with a very handy lead here now. 21-point lead here, and here we have with us the legendary Les Coupin, one of the most famous players that Cobram have ever had. Champion full forward. Les.
Can't Tigers.
There we are, Les. You must be excited about the way this was.
Terrific game, Graham. Yeah, the Tigers look like taking it out now. They're really putting it together.
Well done, Les. The ball coming out to the Cobram forwards in David Gemmell, shooting a short pass across to Hudson Batty. Puts out one hand, can't gather the ball in. It's picked up by Sweeney, taps the ball on. Neither side can get it. Sweeney's got the ball. He knocks it out on the ground out to Stephen Gemmell. He runs onto his left foot, then on his right. He's caught. Desperation play by both sides. Les, do you think they can hold on from here?
Yes, I'm pretty confident they'll hold on now, Graham. They're playing a lot better football and they're going for the ball a lot harder than they did when they played Finley last time. Much more desperation. I'm quite confident of a win here.
Right, as Finley bring the ball through, and he's held the ball, and Brain has been tackled by Danny Thomas from behind, and he's going to get a free kick for holding the ball. Neville.
Yes. Danny could drive this ball down to the goal. It looks like he's going to have a try. Yeah, Danny Thomas.
Good kick.
Good kick. Oh, big leap up there by Simo, but misses the ball. Driven out by Finley. Out on the wing, right straight to Ventry. Ventry gets the ball, runs on, plays on, drives the ball back down to the forward line to Simpkin, but it goes out of bounds. 12 minutes into the last quarter.
Don't lean too hard on the U. Don't rock the U so much. Sorry.
12 minutes thrown in on the boundary line on the Cobram forward line. Cobram gets the ball. Thomas had the ball then and tries to drive his way through. Simo goes in and mounts on someone Finley's back. And he's given a free kick. Graham's a bit cold there.
Yes, here we are, the dying stages of this game. It does appear now that Cobram have got this game set up as Henry gets the ball back in, a lovely mark taken by, no, it's Chris Mustiger. Chris Mustiger leaning back on his opponent and leaning very skillful, and a lovely skillful mark. Hands out in front of him. He's only now 40 metres out from goal, and it is shut the gate. The horse is bolted, I think, for Finley now. He runs in strongly, and he's kicked a goal that wins the game for Cobram. And there's the goal umpire, and there's a shot back there of the Cobram players excitedly hugging and embracing each other. They're excited. We're all excited out here. And Les Coupin, you must be excited too, are you?
Yeah, I like to see the kids win. I thought they should have won that second semi-final against Finley, and the mistakes they made, they've learned today, and they're really putting it together. They're playing really well. It's good to see them playing like that, Graham.
Right, Les. Thanks very much for those comments, Les. Les Coupin, as you all know, the champion full forward of the 50s and 60s, and the champion cricket umpire of the 70s and 80s too. With those excellent comments, and I know he'll have a lot of feeling for this Cobram side here today. Back in the centre of the ground once again, and we're into the dying stages of the game. 13 minutes exactly gone in the grand final. Finley are kicking the ball out to the centre wing position. This ball will probably bounce back. Yeah, well, it favours Finley. No, it doesn't. Eventually favours Cobram. Nicolopoulos kicking the ball along the half-forward flank position into what's that fellow's name? In Caruso, Mick Caruso out to Stephen Gemmell. And Hudson Batty taking the ball in front of his opponent. Nice bit of play there.
Nice bit of play there through there. Hudson led out very well. Led out in front of his, and he looks like it's a beautiful goal straight through the middle. The Tigers are really lifted their game.
Champagne out. Crack it now. Hey, Yvonne, get the bottle out. Quick.
That was a great goal by Hudson Batty. Great mark. Good play by the other players passing it down the forward line. And they've really lifted their game. I think they've got the touch in their mouths, the champagne touch.
I'm going to go out to the rooms and open the champagne now.
Well, that's right. Les Cooper has come out of retirement, so to speak, and he's he's going to have a drink, he said. And yes, the champagne has been brought out, and it looks like it's that time, approaching the 14.5-minute mark of this last quarter. And Cobram have really gone away from this from Finley in this last quarter of the game. Brain coming through very strongly now. Ball's out to Delminico. Delminico getting a kick up onto the half-forward line to his Finley team in Mexted. He's overrun with the ball. He's got out to Owen, and Owen's kicked the ball around looking for his Wilson, and Wilson's kicked the ball up into the forward pocket, and it's going to be forced out of bounds in Finley's forward pocket. 12 goals 8 to 6 goals 5 at the 15-minute mark. Bond. Well, Bond's mucking around a little bit with the ball here. Ball's kicked out to Ventry. Ventry kicks it out to as far as Shepherd. Shepherd can go a long way. He tries to go in field now. He better get his kick because he's run a long way. He's kicked the ball down to centre half forward. Finley coming through very strongly, failed to take them all. There's a nest of hungry Cobram players. There's Scott Thomas stockers the ball off the ground. Finley looking a little bit nervous here as Robert Hocken comes through. Very strong play by Caruso.
Come on, he's played very well, hasn't he? Really put his back into the ball. Chris Mustiga handballs the ball out. Ooh, Finley got drives through them. Chris Mustiga passes the ball out to who? To Henry. Henry's got the ball out to the wing to Simpkin.
They're doing what they like now.
Yeah, I think they're doing what they like. They've got that touch of class at the moment. We're into time on.
It's a kick from it's going across the face of goal. It's been forced through for 1 point.
Odds been offered 500 to 1 Finley.
Well, 500 to 1 Finley here. The odds here from our Ledbrokes man in Godfrey Evans. But I'm sure they're not going to be accepted at this stage. Short pass going down the centre of the ground. Finley are not really handling the ball at all well at this stage of the game. And here's a kick by Ventry, kicking around into the square, looking for Hudson Batty coming out, but the ball's gone out of bounds. On the full, free kick to the Finley fullback. Delminico's taking the ball. He's kicking the ball out to the half-back flank. The players are all flying up there, and no one can really gain the ball. Ball's been coming out to Finley. Tries to handball the ball away. This time picked up by Moody. Shows his great strength. Gets a handball across the half-forward line. Thomas putting his body in. Knocks the ball on. Finley in there as well. Thomas diving on the ball once again. Everyone's diving on the ball. A desperation of football. Grand final stuff. Stephen Gemmell chasing out to the boundary line for the ball. He's not going to get it. He's having a bit of trouble with some stronger Finley players who brush him aside. Pick up the ball, kick it down to the centre position, and it's Shepherd and Owen both going for the ball, and the ball's been forced out of bounds. The dying stage of the game. The siren any moment now. An 85 premiership to Cobram. An excellent season, and Joe Shelley he'd have to be congratulated on his season. He had some nervous moments throughout the year, and over the finals, and that inexcusable loss to Finley in that second semi-final has really sort of revved on the boys, and they've really gone into this match perhaps underdogs, and certainly underdogs, I would say. Here's Brian Simpkin in front of our commentary position. He's kicking the ball across, looking for the running Robinson. Robinson, he didn't quite go at that ball hard enough. It's been swept away by Finley, only into the safe hands of John Ventry. Ventry's kicking up a high bomb, and the ball's been marked by Waterfall coming through for that half-back flank. As the ball kicked into the centre position to Brain. Now Brain is running down to the half-forward flank position, kicking down to, it should have been a mark. Robinson's on the ground. Robinson's going to get a handball. He kicked it, handball, the ball's over his head. That's it. That's the grand final over. That's Cobram's win. That's a premiership to Cobram. That's Cobram's flag, 85 flag, a magnificent win to Cobram. Did everything right from the halfway mark of the game. They did everything right. A magnificent start to the last quarter, and when Nicolopoulos kicked the first goal on the 28-second mark of the last quarter, and here's the jubilant Cobram crowd with the black and yellow flag waving there in jubilation. A magnificent win. Craig Wall, who was injured early in the season, there with the rest of the players. He didn't play in any participated much in this season at all, but the interchange players and the 25 players who participated with the Cobram Club this year are to be congratulated. A magnificent win, and for the Cobram players, the better players on the day were Doyle, had a magnificent game in the ruck and at full back in the back line. Strong defence. Sandy Weeding, I would give probably in Cobram's best 2 or 3 players. A really quite a brilliant game. Sweeney, when he came on, was in everything. Chris Mustiger, a driving force all over the ground and particularly in the centre. Brian Sipkin, a splendid captain's game. Robert Hocking, and there they are out on the Oval at the moment singing the Cobram Tiger song, as you might be able to hear in the background. Andrew Henry, a fine game at full forward. Danny Thomas, excellent player at centre half forward on that forward line. Did nothing wrong all day and tried his hardest. George Nicolomelis, an inspiring goal in that last quarter. Inspirational stuff, and he dives on top of the packs all the day. Mark Bond, Hudson Batty kicking 5 goals. An excellent piece of play, an opportunist full forward, kicked a couple of over shoulder. Very similar to the way his father played back in the many years ago. In 1920, someone said. I don't think he's quite that old. I think you might be talking about Mr. Batty Senior. Mark Bond, the captain of the side, he never put a foot wrong all day, and he was an absolute springboard of attack at 10 half back. Bobby Burke tried his heart out in the ruck all day. Craig Shepherd, solid as a rock on the half back flank. Scott Thomas, probably one of the most deciding blows of the game was when he ran into his opponent Brain, ran into an open goal, and really thumped him hard. Joel Kendi didn't get much of a go. Robinson strong on the half back flank. Greg Moody, very strong in the ruck, an excellent game in the ruck all day. John Ventry displayed a lot of skills as a elusive player around the ground on the half back flank. Stephen Gemmell, an opportunist half forward, did a lot of good things. David Gemmell, a lot of good tapping on and good forward work. And Mick Caruso, when he came on the ground, also played an excellent game. And this is me, Graham Gemmell here from Tagmore, signing off from the Thirds Grand Final. The final result of the Grand Final, Cobram 12 goals 9 to 81 to Finley's 6 goals 11, 47 points, and there we are. You can hear the whistles and the shouts from the presentation area.
Right, thanks Ron. Okay fellas, this is what you've been waiting for, let's go. Johnny Ventry. Brett Moody. Hudson Batty. Dave Gemmell. Scott Thomas. Mickey Caruso. I don't know. Rob Hockey. Andrew Robinson. Andrew Henry. George Nicolomelis. Steve Gemmell. Craig Sweeney. Brian Sipkin. Gav Doyle. Rocky Perry. Bobby Burke. Dan Thomas. Joel Kennedy. Craig Shepherd. And our vice captain, Chris Musker.